Thank you, Anita and Jolie and all of you. It's, I think I am ready to be the last one. Unfortunately, I couldn't be with in all the lectures, in all the other presentations, but the ones I could be, were great to enrich what I want to bring. As you could see today for Anita's presentation, where now in the answers and the questions and answers, you talked about the stars. So I would like to start with visualization also, because I want us to a little bit feel the stars, feel ourselves in the stars or as the stars. I hope my English it's not a, a problem, and I have my friend Jolie that will help me sometime if I need to. And can we start with this visualization? I want to ask you all to be comfortable, sit comfortable, and a little bit relaxed, but present in yourselves. And close your eyes. And I want you to listen what I'm saying with your hearts and let yourself go to where I'm trying to lead you. So contact yourself internally. Stay calm, stay comfortable, and contact yourself internally. Now, in this state, try to perceive the periphery of your body. Try to perceive that you are in your skin. And in this periphery, we are trying to make a path. So you are in your skin and you perceive your body from the outside of yourself, from your skin. The path begins in your scalp. So you are in your scalp, at the periphery of your scalp. And then we begin to descend. You begin to descend down to your back, the skin of your back. Perceive yourself on your back. Perceive yourself in this periphery of your body, in this exact point of your body in your back. Now, go down further and go to the leg region, behind your body, behind the thighs. Go down a little more and perceive your calves. You are in your calves and you are slowly descending a little more and perceive your feet. You are in the skin of your feet. And then you go and make the curve of your feet and you start to come up in your skin. So you to the toes, you go up in your feet, you continue in your skin, in this outside of your body, this periphery of your body, and you go up to your shins, to your knees. Feel yourself on your knees, in the skin of your knees, then a little bit up the muscles of the front of the thighs. Come up to the region, genital region, the skin of your belly, of your abdomen, hands up to the arms and to the chest. Go up to the chest, go up to the neck, up to the face, and go up to the point where you started, to your scalp. Now realize that you are all of that, but you perceive yourself from the outside. You are this periphery. But in each moment, your consciousness were in one or another part of this periphery, while you are still that whole periphery. Now that you are in this whole periphery, start to try to understand and to perceive what is happening inside you. From the outside, you start to perceive what's happening inside. Do you hear your heartbeat? Do you hear the sound of the pulse? Try to perceive the path that the air takes inside your body. The air comes in, the air comes out. But you perceive this, all of this that is happening inside you, from the outside. From your skin, you see and feel all that is happening inside you. Now, you start to expand. This periphery begins to expand. It expands to all of your house, your neighborhood. And this house, your neighborhood now is inside you. You are looking at it from the outside. You expand more. And your city is inside you. And you expand more and more. And your whole country is inside you. Continue expanding, and the continent is inside you. All the planet now is inside you, all the planet Earth. And you expand more, and expand more, and you reach to the moon's sphere. And all this moon's orbit around the planet Earth is inside you. And you go on expanding, and you reach the sun. And the sun is inside you. And you expand more and more, and all the planets are inside you. And you reach the limit of the solar system. Now you look at inside you, and you see Jupiter moving, Saturn moving, all the planets moving inside you. Perhaps you can see Jupiter near your foot, and the Sun near your head, and in between the Earth with the Moon. And you see all of that in relation inside you. Then you start to move in your periphery again. You put your attention in what is your skin now. And you start to move in this periphery with your consciousness in this periphery that you are now. And then you start to feel that you are in the Aries constellation. You are Aries constellation. And you walk a little more in your periphery with your conscience. And you feel yourself as Taurus constellation. And you walk. And you feel yourself as Gemini. And you walk a little more in your periphery with your consciousness, and you are Cancer. What do you feel in each part of your periphery? And you walk, and you are Leo. And you walk a little more, you are Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. You go more through your periphery, walk more, and you are Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarian, Pisces, and return to Aries. And you are all that periphery, but still you are each part of it. You were in all those parts with your consciousness, and you are all that periphery. Now, with that perception, in this place, slowly come back to here and now. Begins to concentrate yourself and leave the zodiac region. Leave the zodiac region out of you. Concentrate more. Pass through the planets, spheres. Leave the planets out of you. Concentrate more. Enter Earth. Leave continents, oceans outside. Leave your country outside yourself. Leave your city outside. Leave your neighborhood, your house outside. Find yourself back into your skin, in your body periphery. And now, focus more, concentrate more, and perceive yourself in the center of yourself. In your center is yourself. Perceive it in your center. Feel your own body, realize yourself, and slowly move, touch yourself, stretch. And when you feel really present in yourself, open your eyes and come back to here and now. I think most of us are back, completely back, I hope. And I want to start talking about what is Zodiac. I would like to do it with talking than people answering, but I'm afraid I have not many time, so I would like to start with this. Zodiac, as I think most of us heard, is the wheel of the animals, the belt of the animals, the belt of the signs in the sky. And what does it mean, really? This is a belt not of the signs, but of the constellations. We see constellations. So when we look to the sky, we see the constellation of Leo, we see the constellation of Virgo, we see the constellation of Libra, and so on. These constellations are different in size and in characteristics from one another, but basically constellations are a reunion of stars. So we have in Virgo's constellations a lot of stars that are in relation. And the ancients marked these stars, these constellations, because they saw or they felt that from these constellations, from these places in the sky, this reunion of stars, specific forces were emanate from these stars for us, for Earth. And they felt that the forces that each constellation emanates were different from each other. So Virgo emanates a certain force, Leo emanates a certain force or a certain quality for the Earth. It's interesting, the difference between constellation and sign, because the constellation it's the reunion of the stars, and it has its own quality, its own individuality. So Virgo is a very big constellation. Libra, it's a little constellation. So each constellation has one size, has one quality, has really shining stars as Scorpio, for example, or stars that don't shine much as Aries, that is difficult to find in the heaven, to see in the heavens, even in a very dark sky. So each constellation has a different quality, a specific quality, and signs are the division of this circle in 12 equal parts. So a belt or a circle or an ellipse, as the zodiac are, the form of this belt is an ellipse. It's not a exact circle, but it's an ellipse. And these round forms, these spheric forms, has 360 degrees of circumference. If we divide this 360 degrees of circumference in 12 equal parts, we have 30 degrees each part. So a sign is a piece of 30 degrees from which this constellation emanates its force. And what I can give as an example to make it a little bit clear is that all of us are here at Zoom. One of us is bigger, the other is smaller. One is fatter, the other is thinner. One is male, another is female, and all of us are here. And all of us are expressing ourselves. Some of us are more colored persons, more talking persons. Others are a little bit quiet, more observational person. But all of us are in these little squares, same square for each of us. So the square is the sign. The individuality that is behind the square is the constellation. And it's like in the airplane also, we are traveling. It doesn't matter if I am 160 meters tall or 2 meters tall, I will sit in the same chair, in exactly the same chair. And I will express my discomfort or my accommodation, being sleeping all the time, or maybe I have to go up and walk through the plane because my leg is hurt, or I can talk to my neighbor, but he wants to sleep, or I can see the movies. I will express my individuality independently of the size of the chair. And here at Zoom, that's exactly what is happening. We are expressing our individualities through this little square. Each one of us. It doesn't matter. I am a little bit more colored today because I am the presentee. Yesterday I wasn't. And Jolie and Carl and Liz and Chinri, EL, all of us are here expressing ourselves. So this is the difference between sign and constellation. The signs is this part of the sky where these forces came from. But behind this part of the sky are those individualities, those constellations, wonderful individualities. And this belt of constellations is what formed us, what forms human beings, what forms solar system. With this visualization, I tried to make you perceive what happens in the cosmos. Because here in Earth, as human beings, we have this point of view, the centered point of view. We are in ourselves and we are the center. And it's good that it's like this, because I have to develop my eye. And I need to feel my eye, to perceive my eye, to understand, as Anita said, to be the authority of myself. I have to perceive myself as an I, to can really develop myself consciously, develop the consciousness soul and the I. But when we are in the astral world, and when we, after that, what happens is that we expand like this, and we see things from outside, from the outside. So everything is inside us. I'm not sure if you could feel that, but what happens in the cosmos is exactly what happens in us. When we are in our periphery, in our skin, we see and feel everything that happens in our body from the outside. So we feel our organs moving and relating to each other. Our liver has to relate to our stomach and to everything so that I can digest well. Our heart has to relate with our lungs and with all the other organs so that the air and the nutrition goes to all organs. Everything inside us is in relation, as the planets are in the cosmos. So if Jupiter is near Saturn, or as they are now so wonderfully in the sky, you can see Jupiter and Saturn so close. But Jupiter is really far from the sun, and Mars is far from the sun now also. So that's why they are so shiny in the sky. These relations are always happening, and these relations affect us, because what is outside is also inside us, because all the cosmos formed us. And how it did happen. I brought some images so we can perceive this thing about the individualities, but I will do it later. I thought about doing before, but now I advanced a little more. I'll do it later. I would like to continue talking about how did the cosmos formed us. And then later I try to bring some images. Steiner said that when a hierarchy reaches its seventh mature stage, when it develops all his 7 members of his body, this hierarchy that is in a concentrated point reaches this maturity, and then all that is in this point dissolves. When it dissolves, it goes to the periphery. So here we are in Earth, and we are in our fourth stage of development. We came from the old Saturn, where we were created. We passed through the old sun and to the old moon. Now we are in the earth. We are going to 3 more incarnations of the planetary system: future Jupiter, future Venus, and future volcano. When we reach the maturation of the future volcano, we'll be in this planetary point with different substances. Let's not think about substance, right? But we'll be in this mature point, and everything that is in this planetary system that is concentrated in a center will dissolve and go to the periphery. So when we go to the periphery, when this hierarchy that is mature enough goes to the periphery, inside it, where was the center, there is an empty space. And this hierarchy that is outside, that is in the periphery, that is in this belt or this circumference around this empty space, can start to donate its substance to create a new world, to create new beings. So this is what Zodiac is. The Zodiac is this circle of elevated beings that creates our world, creates ourselves. And the Zodiac are formed mostly by the beings of the first hierarchy, thrones, cherubims, and seraphims, and they send us their qualities, their forces all the time. They formed us and from the beginning, and from the beginning they are sending us these forces. Especially the cherubims sends us these forces. So when we were visualizing, in this visualization that I try to guide you, we reached this point where these belts are, and from where it emanates all its qualities and all its forces for us to develop. Okay, what else? The Zodiac is also called the circle of the animals, the belt of the animals, because the cherubim sends us these forces, and these forces goes mainly to the astral body. As we have I, as human beings, this force, we can receive all these forces, and we can have all of them in potential. So we can develop all the 12 forces. But as it emanates to the astral body, these forces goes right to the end on the animals, right to the specialization in the animals. So when we see a lion, we see the most, the maximum force specialized there in the lion. So this force that emanates from the lion's constellation goes all the way deep into the astral body of the lion, so that the lion is the perfect expression or the maximum expression of that force. Goes all the way to the specialization of the astral body of the animals. But us, we have this I, so we can deal with all the 12 forces, and we can try to understand and develop all those 12 forces in us. Sorry, Rashmi, what's my time? How many times do I have?
I have around 35 to 40 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Well, now I want to share some slides. It's okay? Share screen. Trying to. Well, this is an image that I love because it's us in our in all our balance, our equilibrium as the Vitruvian man, and with the zodiac all around us. I have a quote of a great friend of mine that it's a friend because I studied his biography. He's already in the stars. Called João Guimarães Rosa, which is a writer, a Brazilian writer, very important for us. And in his book, his most famous book, he wrote, "Look and see. The most important and beautiful thing in the world is this, that people are not always the same. They are still incomplete, but that they are always changing, in and out of tune. The greatest truth. That's what life taught me. That's what makes me real happy." So I think this is perfect because we have all these 12 forces, and all of you know that we have 7 qualities, anemic qualities, related to the planetary forces. And we have the temperaments, and we have the constitution, physical constitution. We have all these things, and we are not ready. We are dealing with all these things. And our task is to develop conscience about it and try to be the authority of ourselves. Each one of us be the self-authority to develop all these 12 forces, all these 7 characteristics, and to reach this point of maturity that will be able to create worlds. And it's wonderful that we are now in Zoom, being a zodiac, now, at this very moment, because we are all in our squares, in a meeting, in a gathering of 4 days, creating something new, creating a knowledge, creating a way of practice, biographical work, biographical impulse, creating this connection together. All of us, in each part of the world, in India, in Brazil, in Egypt. Anita is in Egypt, so wonderful. I think there is someone from Netherlands, from United States. We are here. We are not here. We are in our periphery. Each one of us in your place, but all of us looking at this center, which is the screen, the computer, but physically is the screen, because it's this center where we are building this gathering. So the gathering is the center. We are, all of us around the world, in this periphery, emanating our forces and our qualities to this gathering together. And from this gathering, something new will be created. Maybe new forms of work, maybe new relationships to spread the biographical impulse through the world, to think new forms and new practices for the biographical world. But we are here like a zodiac, emanating our forces and our qualities to make this happen in this center, in this gathering. And each of us, each individuality of us are given the force we have now. Maybe after this gathering, each one of us will change a little bit, and we will be new persons, because we are still incomplete. We are learning, and we are developing our consciousness to learn and to become our self-authority, our self-I, our self-sun, as Anita brought us. Well, this was I wanted to propose, but I won't propose it. I would propose that each one of us see these 12 pictures and try to perceive which one touches more, and then change your name to the number that we have here. If someone wants to do it, you can do it, because I wanted to show how the constellations, the beings of the constellations are together. They are together by affinities. So we have in the constellation of Leo, the beings, the spiritual beings that has this affinity with this force of Leo force, those cherubims that have this force to emanate from us. Then when we look at the sky and we point to Leo, or we point to Virgo, or we point to Scorpio, we are pointing to these beings that has these forces, that has these qualities. And if you want to, I will pass the images, but not to exactly contemplate. If each one calls you, you can choose the number and maybe rename yourself in the Zoom screen. But I will not exactly work with this after. Image 2. Image 3. Image 4. Image 5. Image 6. Image 7. Image 8. Image 9. Image 10. Image 11. Image 12. Well, now, so this is what we did. We were here in the center of the earth, and then we expand through the zodiac, the fixed stars. We passed through all the planetary spheres. And as I told you, everything inside is moving and is relating. The planets are relating to each other, are relating to the earth, are relating to the sun, and are relating to the zodiac. The zodiac, on the other hand, are fixed stars. They are, as from our point of view, they are fixed stars. We move around the zodiac and we see all the constellations. It depends on the place on Earth, but we see almost all the constellations, depending on the time of the year also. But they are there. But the planets know. We see Jupiter now near Capricorn, for example. And in the middle of the next year, we'll see Jupiter near Pisces. Mars almost all night is in a different place, a little bit different place in the sky. Today near Sagittarius, tomorrow near Capricorn. Not so fast, but the moon, yes, the moon goes that fast. You see the moon each day in a different place. And there are some days that we don't see the moon because she's in the sky with the sun. Not because she is new, we don't see the moon when she is new, but we also don't see the moon exactly when she is with the sun in the sky. There is one day in her cycle, from the 28 days of cycle of the moon, that she arises with the sun. So the moon is so fast, she's moving so fast that every day we see her in a different place. And sometimes we can see her during the day because she is almost full and she is in the day, in the afternoon, we can see her in the sky. So the planets are moving, but the zodiac are fixed and they are a limit of the cosmos. The zodiac limitates the cosmos, the solar system, our cosmos. After the zodiac, behind the zodiac, we have the Trinity, the God, God Father, God Son, and God Holy Spirit, the Trinity. So the zodiac is this limit where inside is all that is formed in our solar system, that is moving and that is evolving, developing. And from outside the zodiac, there is this essence, this divine. And the zodiac does the same, forming us, human beings. When we are in our mother's womb, the zodiac sends its forces to form our body, the external form of our body. That is the most fixed thing we have, the external form of our body. So the zodiac forms us. The Aries sends its form. Sorry, I will back. Aries sends its force to form our head. The bull, Taurus, sends its force to form our throat, our neck. Then, descending a little more, Gemini sends its forces to form our symmetry, our bilaterality, especially arms, because with the arms we can touch ourselves, and when we touch ourselves, we perceive ourselves. But Gemini sends this force that makes us have this two sides, two equal or similar sides, and with this we can perceive ourselves. Let me back a little more to talk about the Aries force, because it forms our head, and our head is where we can perceive the thoughts of the universe, of the cosmos. So Aries is this force that gives us the head, that perceives the thoughts, the divine thoughts. And so we look at, with Aries force, we look at the universe and we capture the thoughts of the cosmos, the divine thoughts. Then the bull or Taurus forms our throat. And in our throat we have the voice. We vibrate, and we can look to the side. We can look around, not to the cosmos, but what is around us. And then we can vibrate we can internalize what is around me and vibrate it inside me. That I perceive from all around. So I vibrate. Taurus gives us this vibration that makes us vibrate the outside, inside me. Then, so we are so the forces, the zodiacal forces, are somehow an internalization of the cosmos. It starts with Aries, with the universal thoughts. Then the surroundings, the internalizing and vibration of the surroundings with the Taurus forces. Now we can then touch ourselves and perceive ourselves as someone. And then the force of the Cancer comes and forms our thoracic box. I don't know if it's right, but it's literal from the Portuguese. The ribs and the thoracic box that protects everything that is inside, protects the heart, protects the organs. So the human being starts to feel itself and close itself, protect itself with all of this that came from the outside. From that point, we have four zodiacal forces that starts to form something that is inner. So the zodiac forms the heart. The Leo force forms the heart, and with the heart, I can circulate all of those images and thoughts that I capture from the universe, from Aries, to all my body. I can feel all my body with the circulation of the heart. Then I have the force of Virgo that forms our internal organs of metabolism, which is where the warmth of the will is. So in this region where Virgo acts, forming, we have the will to create. We have the will to form things also. Then we go to Libra, and we have the warmth to generate things here in Virgo. Then we go to Libra, and Libra is this balance in my... Jolie, agora eu preciso da sua ajuda. Como é que chama o sacro, a cintura pélvica?
The lower back and the pelvic area.
The pelvic area, which has this balance between this balance in our body. We now in Libra we have this force of the equilibrium, the balance in our body, and to walk, to be up.
Hips.
Then we go hips, thanks. Then we go to Scorpio region, and Scorpio is this region where we start to put things out again. So Scorpio forms the genital organs and the secretion, the organs that secrete, that secreção, Jolie. Secrete things, as the sperma in male, or as the new life from a female, where we can put things out of us to begin with. And then after that, we go to this part of our body where we start to really act in the outside world. And Steiner says that those 4 last signs or forces, zodiacal forces, forms the 4 primitive professions of the human being. These forces that they send to our body are to develop these qualities to work on the world. So Sagittarius forms our tights, the muscles of our tights, because we need this to run after the animals, to start to hunt animals and to act in the world by ourselves. Then Capricorn gives us the force of the knees, not only the knees, all the articulations in our body, but especially the knees, because although we are still nomads, we can now start to create animals. So we start to be shepherds, or yes, shepherds of many animals, many kinds of animals, and we are still having to leave the places we live because of the winter or because of the nature happenings, but we take our animals with us. So we need the knees to go to different grounds, different grounds. We had to scale mountains. I don't know if it's scale, it's a good word, but we have to go to the mountains, to the grass, many grounds we have to walk through, taking our animals with us. So these articulation forces and the knees forces are given us from Capricorn.
Sure. Herding the animals, to herd the animals.
Thank you, Jo. Herd the animals. After that, we develop a little more in the evolution of humanity, and Aquarius gives us this force of the vitalize with water the earth, so that we can cultivate plants. And now we can settle down in a place. We are no longer nomads, but we can have a place where we can stay, because we can cultivate plants. And this is brought to us from this agriculture capacity that Aquarium gives us. And this quality is in our calves, because it's a very irrigated part of our body. And so it represents and gives us this force of the irrigation of life. And finally, we have this force, this quality of the pieces, that now that we have all these qualities, that we developed all these things in humanity, we can take all of this and spread to the world and take out with us through the world. So pieces gives us the force of the feet. And we start to be commerciants, I think it is, commerciants and navigators, because we can now conquer the world and spread everything that we have, that we gain with all the zodiac and with all the evolution of humanity through the world. Well, let me see, what time is it? There is a noise. Okay. So this is the picture, the image of the human being formed by the cosmos. The zodiac gives us this form. The planets gives us our internal organs that relates everything. But also the zodiac gives us what is most essential in us. Do you remember that I told you that the zodiac is the limit of the divine? Behind the zodiac, after the zodiac, outside the zodiac is the divine, the Trinity. So the zodiac gives us this possibility to reach our divinity, to have the divinity in ourselves. So the zodiac gives us the divine essence. And that's why the zodiac manifests itself in anemic characteristics or behaviors only after 21 years old, because we need to have all our three members of the physical body, the etheric body, and the astral body, with this complete development, developed all of them, the physical, etheric, and astral. And then now the zodiac can really penetrate. The zodiac is, all of it are with us since the beginning, but we need to mature certain characteristics. We need to mature our members, our corporal members, so that each member can really penetrate. And the zodiac can penetrate only when the eye can penetrate. And from 21 years, from the age of 21 years old, we can start to manifest, express our internal zodiac, and to use all the 12 forces. Of course, we will express mostly what we have stronger, what we developed strongly in past incarnations. Probably the solar sign, the sign in which I was born, it's really strong or determinant in this phase. But through our biography, the task is to perceive all the 12 forces and try to develop all of them, all the potential that we have of the 12 forces. So this manifests in this essence, this characteristics, characteristics that are given from this essence that comes from the limits of the zodiac, to feel ourselves within our principles, our values. Now we start to, after 21 years old, we start to think and to question, this is my value or it's my family value? What values I want to develop and bring to the world? And but we behave still as animals, because we have all those 12 animals, and not only animals, because Virgo it's a virgin, and Libra is a scale, but we have all these 12 characteristics in us, and we act as they are in our astral constitution. But our eye can say, yes, I do have all these 12. And now, Leo, you cannot just fight and conquer and appear. Now it's time for you to stay a little bit quiet and let the Aquarian talk, because the Aquarian is bringing something about the future and so on. I won't have time, and it was not my intention to really go deep in the anemic characteristics, because we can search in many places. But what is really, really important that I want to share with you is that we have all the 12. And all this path that I made until here about the spirit of the stars, the spirit of the zodiac, the spirits that forms us. So it's really important to separate it from the astrology knowledge. It's a good knowledge, but it's a different point of view. So that's why I wanted to make this path, all this path, to bring us this consciousness about the spiritual aspect of the zodiac and the spiritual formation of our beings and our humanity and our development. And also I hope I could bring some conscience that we are this macrocosmos, and we are in this path to become creators on the next hierarchy, to create worlds. And we are already doing it in our world. So a little sense of responsibility that we are the microcosmos, but we are a cosmos, and as individual and as humankind, humanity. Well, Jolie, can you read this verse that is from Brazilian poet Olavo Bilac that I love so much?
Yes,
Thank
my
you.
pleasure. Well, thou say, hearing stars, certainly thou've lost your mind. And I will say to thee, however, that to hear them many times I wake and open the windows, pallid in awe. And we talk all night long, while the Milky Way as an open canopy shines. And at the coming of the sun, missing and crying, I still look for them in the desert sky. Thou now say, crazed friend, what do I talk to them? What sense has what they say when they are with thee? And I will say to thou, love to understand them, because only he who loves may have ears capable of hearing and understanding stars. Olavo Bilac.